Hi, folks. I want to welcome you to this week's Rod and Reel Streamside. And I'm laughing. I'm laughing because I'm happy. I'm laughing because I'm in Colorado, the most beautiful place I can imagine. But I'm also laughing because my guest on today's show is somebody that I know, but you don't. His name is Mike Prell. He's battling a fish right now, and believe it or not, it's one of the first fish of his entire life. Mike has been my cameraman on Rod and Reel Streamside. You never get a chance to see him. And Mike never gets a chance to fish. And I thought it'd be really interesting today to take somebody that knows virtually nothing about fishing, introduce them to ice fishing a way that, gosh, it's got to be the best way to ice fish in the world. And I think we'll have a lot of fun. You'll have fun meeting Mike, watching some of these fish, and I'm going to have fun just standing back and watching.
Production of Rod and Reel Streamside is made possible by Fisherman's Caddy Incorporated, the makers of the patented Fisherman's Caddy that holds all your rod styles to give you free use of both your hands while changing bait and lures and landing fish. The Fisherman's Caddy, much more than a rod holder. By Tourism Quebec, vast expanses of virgin forests, thousands of freshwater lakes and rivers stretching north to the Arctic tundra. When the name of the game is fishing or hunting, a wilderness adventure is closer than you think. Quebec. By the Car Freshener Corporation, we make the Little Tree air fresheners for your home, car, and camper.
Okay, Mike, you're doing super.
Watch down in there, and when you see him come up around that hole, get his head in there first and pull him up in.
And keep your line.
See, right, he's on.
Ooh. Okay.
Let him fight a little more if he needs to.
Oh, man.
He's a nice one. Of course, at this stage of the game, every fish I look at is...
It's going to be a nice one?
Come on, sweetheart. Come on, I'll tell ya.
There he goes again.
There you go.
Now, Mike, you got two things to think about at the same time. You never had to do this before. You got to think about what you're doing with the fish, and also, geez, do I talk? Do I say anything?
And I used to laugh at you? Never again.
There he is, right at the hole.
Is he fighting, Mike?
Oh, yeah.
Is it?
Yeah, that's a nice little...
She's a nice little one. We don't have any idea. Chances are it's a rainbow.
Ease it up.
Ooh, ooh. Yeah, he's coming. Oh, wow. Get right down here, Mike. Look it. That is a beauty. Mike, that fish is 9, wait a minute here, 9? He's almost 18 inches.
Is that right?
Yeah, well, this way we can be truthful. And everybody can know just exactly how much he is. He's 17 inches. Oh, there's one there. Have you got him?
Bonsai.
All right, you stay here with your fish. Actually, yeah, you stay here with him. I'm going to come over here. I neglected to say that on the show also today is Pat Cody. And if it wasn't for Pat and Mark Armstrong, this trip would never have come about. You'd never be seeing this fish right now. And this fish hit your special device you invented that we've talked about on another show that you did with me a while back for brook trout. And boy.
Can I put him back in?
Just a minute.
Okay.
Just a minute, Mike. We'll put them both back together.
All right, same hole, sure.
Yeah, come on over here with us. Oh, wow. Does he feel any good?
Oh, he's not a huge one. They all feel good, though.
Boy, I bet you're thrilled that your device that you made the first thing before we even got started hooked you a fish. And it hooked it.
Yeah,
you did nothing. All Pat did is run over here and grab the rod. We're going to show you all about this device, too. Gosh, this is a blast. How's he coming?
He's down there.
I'll tell you what we're going to do. Why don't you put your fish right down in there right now?
Oh,
we're going to take...
there he's right.
Oh, okay. Oh, he's just as big as he... Wait, hold him right next to him, Mike. This is unbelievable. A pair of great big rainbows. Okay, Mike, let's yours down.
Oh, baby. Oh, she's fine.
Boy.
Here, you want to hold it and
Yeah.
get that jig out?
Yeah. Oh man, these are beautiful fish. Now we talked to some people recently, and they said that, gee, you're coming over here, we're on a really accessible reservoir, a place that, gosh, there's a lot of people today, we've come way down the lake so we could get away from people, so we wouldn't bother them in setting up all our gear, and we'd allow them to have a good day's fishing. But they says to us, oh, geez, the rainbows are running small because so many people are fishing here. What they didn't know, and we didn't tell them, is that we've got a special technique. We've got a whole system that was devised by Mark Armstrong, and we've talked to you about it today in other shows. But I thought, gosh, today with Mike, who had never fished before, being able to catch fish on this system, it's really going to be able to show people how deadly it is. Well, I'm getting out of breath here, and I've done nothing but talk. I guess that's the one thing I can do. Well, let's let him back down again. I'll tell you what, Pat, while you're doing that, why don't you show people this device that you got here?
Okay, what I did is the rod goes in here.
This is all electronic, and this...
A trigger that hooks to the end of it.
Uh-huh.
And when that fish hits it, it'll come down. I don't have it turned on now.
Uh-huh.
It'll come down and hit that wire and trigger it and flip your rod up.
And the rod flips all the way up and sets the hook, and then you get here and your fish is already hooked. Now, you might think, oh, geez, well, that takes the fun out of setting the hook. Believe me, there's an awful lot of times these fish hit so light, you can't set the hook. But more important, for people that are just getting into it, want to learn about it, for people that are handicapped and would have a hard time being quick enough in doing these things, what a tremendous aid that this could be to them. I just think it's a great deal. And this isn't something that's commercial. It's not something that Pat is on here trying to sell. He devised it for people that were handicapped, that his wife is a nurse and she worked with some of these people, and he came up with the idea and he thought, geez, this would be a wonderful thing. So anyway, is that down far enough, or are you just showed him? All right, I'm going to go back over here with Mike. We're going to re-rig, and we'll see if we can get some more. This is exciting.
Yeah. Lever ahead?
It will be.
Only
I gotta make sure I got him hooked.
You got him. There you go.
You're like Mark's ghost in the background.
It's amazing what you learn behind the camera.
You know what's amazing, Mike? Mike! There's one on there.
All right, Pat. Go for it.
Is he still on? Or did he get off? Or did he break off? Oh, I still got mine on. Boy.
Stepping back here.
You know the amazing thing to me, Mike?
What's that?
You saw that fish. You saw it. You says to me, something doesn't look... So you're picking that up pretty good. He's on there, right, Pat?
We might be wrapped.
Oh. That's probably what it is. We're wrapped together. Probably that's what triggered it.
Yeah.
Because he must have ran sideways.
This sure beats watching tip-ups all morning long, doesn't it?
Yeah, I'm still nursing him. It's a different feel from when you're fishing in the summer. It's very similar to using ultralights, but you've got to be aware of the borders of that hole down there. Actually, Mike, you should have probably brought that up if you would. Just reel yours right straight up. Or we'll have three lines tangled into one. Did it? Great. Great. Well, he should be coming up shortly.
Please back over this.
Do you see him at all, Pat?
Not yet.
Keep your line. There you go. Make sure you keep your line. You pull down and curl up to the
edge. Boy, this is fun. This really is. It's great fun. I would have never known anything like this existed. I could have spent the rest of my life, never experienced this, and I'd really been missing out on something.
No, I just saw flesh. There he is, right at the hole, easy. You let him run down if he wants to.
Is he a good one?
Yeah. He's on the end of your line, man. He's a good one.
That's right. There he is. Nice fish, biggest one so far.
Is it?
Don, wait till you see this guy. Oh, is he nice or what?
Oh my goodness.
Look at those white tips on those fins.
Man, all right, Mike.
Okay.
Mike says I'll get the D-Liar out here.
Yeah. You got him, man.
All right, he's pushing between 7.
You're out here at 18 inches.
Yeah.
Excellent.
I'm happy with that.
Excellent.
I'll always be happy with an 18-inch rainbow every day of the week.
And that jig just fell out of
Did
its
it really?
mouth. I just barely touched it.
Oh. But didn't I play that masterfully?
Yeah, you did.
Yes.
I can't believe he's saying, yeah, he did.
You got him out?
Yeah. Oh, man.
You ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Yeah, go back and tell your friends.
Oh, that is wonderful. Stand up here, guys.
Yeah.
Oh. That was something. And you know the thing that really tickles me is Pat saying, yeah, you did. I was just baiting him here because the whole way through you thought I was horsing him and everything and you were worried about it. And he was telling me in a nice way. This fishing is really spectacular. What you're really seeing here, you're seeing Colorado fishing. The people around the country just don't realize it's such wonderful truck fishing out here. But second of all, you're seeing a system that it looks so simple, and yet it's so deadly. It's a system that Mark Armstrong put together through years and years and years of pain. And what I'm talking about pain is freezing to death nights out here trying to come up with a way that would master some way to catch these fish through the ice. And what he did was he came up with a complete system all the way from the jig. The only thing he didn't really do was the line. The rod, all custom made. The rod has a very special tip on it, a tip that does a number of things. It tells you when you get a strike, plus it absorbs the shock of the strike so the fish doesn't even know. The fish is not even aware that he's onto something that he shouldn't be eating. It's a reel that's designed to fight the fish directly so that when the fish wants to run, as that fish did, the reel just runs freely like that, and you have a snubber here to stop it. There's a lever here that you can pull back so that when that line is in the hole and you go to set the hook, everything is tight. And you can set the hook and then just as quick as a flash, you pull the lever and now you're fighting the fish. And it's just a very, very ingenious. Even the handle, designed to fit your hand, designed to be sensitive. These are fiberglass rod blanks. Graphite's way too stiff, way too brittle. Graphite will break time and time again out here in the cold. But it's a nice flexible rod. And when you're using a tiny little jig, this is the ice fire jig, and I'm going to hold it in my hand so that we can zoom in on it. This is a 1/80th ounce ice fire jig that Mark designed, and it's designed to lay in a horizontal plane in the water so it looks just like a minnow. It has fluorescent head to really attract them. It's got a chartreuse color, although this is just the color I happen to be using. And we've tipped it with a tiny little corn grub. And you take this whole system, combine everything. You have a lure that's more deadly in the water than any other lure, than anything that's been invented for this type of fishing. And I'll tell you what, it would probably work just as effectively whether you live in Rhode Island, whether you live in Minnesota, New York, any place that the water freezes. So I'm going to put this down, and next time, hopefully, it's going to be Mike's turn. This is exciting, Mike.
I'm having no ball watching this. This is great.
Well, you always get to watch.
Yeah.
You're the best watcher there is. Now the thing is for you to take part in it. Man,
Okay.
that one, Mike, you didn't have to do anything.
Right at the bottom of the ice, so be careful.
Okay, sure. Let him out a little.
Just if he wants to.
He's...
Mike, you know, you're more adept at that than I can believe. You're actually more natural at that than I would have ever dreamed. Seriously, for a guy that never fishes. You take your hand off the reel when you're supposed to. You're letting that nubbin snub the drag on it.
It's all that karate training, man. I'll tell you.
Have you seen him yet, Mike?
No.
You got him.
Yeah, I see him.
Bring him up a
Oh,
little
baby.
more.
Oh,
I like the way you do that.
Mike. Let's get him right up here if we can.
Nice rainbow.
Mike,
Kiss the swish, not on your life, but man,
And you were thinking
that's a
about
fish. There you go.
Mike, that's fantastic.
Take him out there.
Yeah.
He's hooked in the roof of his mouth, just
Yeah.
perfect.
Come on, sweetie, don't want to hurt you.
You can use leverage. You know, you gotta just give it a
I
quick.
don't want to hurt him. All right, that is in there.
And that's a 1/80th ounce jig. There, you did it. Look at how nice that fish is just laying there nice and if I give him to you, there you go.
Right back in.
Put him right back in your...
Go home, honey. Go home. Get down there. Come on, don't do that. There you go. All right.
There you go.
Bye.
All right, Mike. Tell everybody what it's like.
Well, it's like an explosion in a silo. All of a sudden, all heck breaks loose. You don't know what you're doing. And somebody says, grab the hole, and you pull them back, and next thing you know, there's a fish in your hand. Somebody's saying, nice fish, and you're letting it go. It's just like that.
All right, let me ask you something. Is it different than being on that side of the camera? Is it more
Yeah.
fun?
Yeah.
Well,
It's a
that's
lot more
great.
fun.
That's great. Now, you know, the bad thing is, now I'm going to have to look for another cameraman because Mike will never go back on that side again. He's always going to want to be here catching fish. Fishing is a great sport, and it appeals to all kinds of different people. In your life, fishing wasn't really a part of your life, was it?
No. I used to watch my cousins when I was a kid take off. I'd be about 7, 8 years old. They'd hop. These guys were about 13, 14. They'd hop in the boats, take off, and I was sitting there waiting. Man, I wish that was me. Then along comes this show, and I'll tell you, getting back to what we were talking about before, being now on this side of the camera gives me more perspective as to what you're actually going through. And I think I'll be more aware, even after all this time, you know, be able to key in more as to what it is you're doing here.
Well, what we're doing is just having a blast
Yeah.
and laughing and leaving you out of it all the time.
Hey.
And poor Mike is back there and wondering if these
Poor Mike does okay. He
Yeah.
does okay. Don't let him get you. He does
Well,
okay.
we may have some fish under us, so
Yeah.
let's rig up. Oh,
I'll get out of your way.
I guess
here.
I can call her Betsy Ross. Betsy's not going to do anything. Yeah, that should be
Betsy
safe. This is an
How
unbelievable
about Davy
thing.
Crockett, didn't
Yeah, Davy Crockett that you rigged up. Actually, you don't rig it that way, do you? Now let me get you a maggot.
Yeah, we need some more bait on.
Put some bait on her. Put her back down. Mike, you didn't have to do anything on that but grab the rod. It was already hooked.
Yeah, I'll tell you, that automatic is nice. I can see the advantage that the person would have in not being able to set a hook and then really enjoy the
Yeah.
battle afterward. That's the way to go. That is the way to go.
Maggot eye.
Well, you know, a lot of times people, you know, when they get older, which you and I aren't too far away from,
I'm not gonna say that.
or, you know, people that have an infirmity or anything like that.
Yeah.
A lot of times in fishing, it requires real quick reflexes. It requires a lot of concentration. And, you know, when you can't do it, then maybe it would become frustrated and it might turn them off. And this is a great way, at least, to get started. And like I said, for people that do have a permanent infirmity, then it's a way that they can enjoy ice fishing all the time.
And on a day like this, what could be better?
We did something right along the way, Mike, to deserve this. Well, folks, you know, when we go fishing, standing over a hole or floating down the stream isn't all there is to the trips that we do. And I wanted to show you where we're staying. And I'm here with Sue Youngland and her son Zane and her husband Monty, who he's out someplace at an auction. But they have these beautiful camps that we're staying at. In fact, beautiful isn't really it doesn't do it justice. We've been sleeping on these beds, and behind us, these are all feather beds. Handmade, just the most gorgeous. I guess it's reflective of this area in Colorado. And I don't know, are you booked most of the year, or is there times of the year when you have, you know, these cabins free for people?
We're usually busy from June 1st through hunting season and Thanksgiving, and then the winter kind of slows down a little bit.
Mm-hmm. So if people want to come here ice fishing like we have, at least they might luck out and have a place to stay.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
In the summer, the people that come here, what are they doing? Are they fishing, or are they hiking, or what is it?
Fishing and hiking and mountain biking, and some people just stay here because they don't like to stay in a big town.
Well, we have been treated so wonderfully, and I'm not sure if it's just because we're in Colorado and people happen to be real friendly here, or if I just got lucky. The name of this town is what?
Yampa.
So if you look on your map, it's near, I guess the biggest town near here is Steamboat Springs, isn't
Right.
it? It's in really an incredibly beautiful part of Colorado. And like Susan said, for hunting season, there's elk every place up this way. We saw so many beautiful. I've never even seen an elk before, so to be part of this, and after a long day out there on the ice and cold, to be able to come into a cabin like this, it just adds to the flavor of a really perfect trip. So I want to thank you, and Zane, I want to thank you for putting up with us too. Gosh, can you imagine the life of a kid like Zane growing up in an area like this? Boy, some of us are really lucky. Well, Mike, you got one, Mike? Mike! Oh, you lost him.
Oh,
Put him right back down.
hey,
Wow. Did you see that, or were you looking someplace else?
I felt it.
You had him for a second. Man.
Oh, baby. This is neat.
All right, wait, he might be hitting again. He's hitting again, Mike.
He's
Yeah,
on.
you got him that time.
That little switch for it.
Mike, this is unbelievable.
Hey, if I glean this fish, can we end the show? So I'm getting nervous about this.
I'll tell you what, we've each lost one at that ice. Let's see if we're masterful enough to get this one.
Leave him.
Mike, he hit once. You lost him.
Oh, take it, baby. Take it. Take it. Okay.
Did you see him hitting?
Yeah, I did.
Because you would just let it back down, and I thought I saw that wire tip going down and down again.
This thing is getting in my way. Can you kind of ease that off that
Yeah.
retainer?
Yeah.
Take my retainer off, Marty.
Wait, where is your
No,
retainer?
it's okay if it stays on.
Yeah,
That's
leave
okay.
the retainer
I'll
there.
leave the retainer on. We're happy. What do I do? Okay, thank you.
That's
You
what you
drop
gotta
your
do.
line. You raise it up. You drop your line. You reel in.
That's right.
Raise it up.
We're gonna do it this time. We're gonna get him.
Raise it up. Raise it up. You bring it down. You watch the fish go.
That's it.
I'm not too excited.
Boy, that all came together just beautiful. You just lost him, I think. No. I wanted to talk to you about what this experience was really like for you to come fishing today, now that you've had a chance to do it for a few
Well,
hours.
I'll tell you, Mark sent us a demo tape of what the experience was like on that. Near the end of the show, there's a
Bring him up.
and that's the experience. That's the experience.
Boy. You know something.
Good one.
All right. I gotta find it. No. It looked it though, didn't it? Because he took it right in front ways.
Got him?
Most of it, yeah. He's off.
Okay.
Boy.
Not bad, right under. Not bad.
Well, Mike, you did it right. Look at all the spots on that fish. That's a beauty.
Hi, Mom.
Your mom will be proud
Oh,
of you.
God. Yeah,
You know
I think my dad would too.
Well,
If
I'm
you were
sure.
here, I know he's watching, he would be too.
I'm sure he's looking down on you and saying, "That's my boy. That's that boy of mine." Well, Mike, let's
That's
put it
good.
back in.
Be good.
I hope that this. I really hope it's been a great experience for you.
I'll never forget it. I'll never, ever forget this. This is...
Now when you're on
can't put it in words.
now when you're on that side of everybody, and you see people out here with me, you'll know a little bit more of what's going on.
This has
and-
brought it all home for me, I'll tell you, sir. It's brought it all home for me.
Well,
Thanks.
I want to thank you like I thank everybody, even though we've been together all these years. I hope you folks have enjoyed the show. I hope you've enjoyed meeting Mike. And now you'll know from now on, as you watch things, you can just picture Mike back there trying to get everything right for all of you. We'll see
Good
you
job,
next
man.
week on another Rod and Reel Streamside.
Thanks.
Production of Rod and Reel Streamside is made possible by Fisherman's Caddy Incorporated, the makers of the patented Fisherman's Caddy that holds all your rod styles to give you free use of both your hands while changing bait and lures and landing fish. The Fisherman's Caddy, much more than a rod holder. By Tourism Quebec, vast expanses of virgin forests, thousands of freshwater lakes and rivers stretching north to the Arctic tundra. When the name of the game is fishing or hunting, A wilderness adventure is closer than you think. Quebec. By the Car Freshener Corporation. We make the Little Tree air fresheners for your home, car, and camper.